In this video, I will show you how to evaluate one trig function at a time. So for example, I will cover sine of 45 degrees, cotangent of 5 pi over 4, secant of negative 120, among others. First thing you absolutely want to do is draw the angle. Again, if you have the unit circle memorized, that's fine, but I cannot stress to you enough how important it is that you actually understand the values of sine, cosine, and tangent outside of the unit circle. Let me review really quick. X is cosine, y is sine, and tangent is sine over cosine. Okay, I'm not going to do these problems necessarily. This was just the title of the section so that you knew if this was a video you should watch or not. So if I give you, let's say, the cosecant of 225, sorry, 225. Cosecant of 225. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is figure out where is 225. And I'm just doing a super basic sketch. So 225 is in the third quadrant. Step 2, determine the reference angle. And the reference angle should be 30, 45, 60, or doesn't exist. Your reference angle is going to be 30, 45, 60, or doesn't exist. So in this particular problem, for 225 degrees, I'm going to draw the triangle. Draw the triangle to the x-axis, always to the x-axis, always to the x-axis, and the reference angle is always positive. You cannot have a negative angle inside of a triangle, it's impossible. So 45 degrees, opposite 45 degrees is negative root 2 over 2 because it's in the third quadrant. Adjacent is negative root 2 over 2 because it's in the third quadrant. This is what I mean when I say you can't have it memorized. You need to know that opposite the 45 degrees is root 2 over 2. You need to know opposite the 30 degrees is 1/2. You need to know that opposite the 60 degrees is root 3 over 2. So that's what I'm talking about, knowing it outside of the unit circle. Okay, now I can evaluate the function. So I have my triangle drawn. I have my sides labeled. So now I can, oh, sorry, this should have been labeled as sides. Step 3 is labeled as sides, which you just did. Sorry. And then, so this problem is asking you for the cosecant. Okay, so the cosecant of some angle is the reciprocal of the sine. Okay, so if the sine in this particular problem, the sine of 225 is equal to negative root 2 over 2. That means the cosecant, flip it, is equal to negative 2 over root 2. Rationalize, reduce. I showed every single step. Of course, you can skip those steps, but that is how you evaluate the cosecant of 225 degrees. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple more pretty quickly. All right, let's do the cotangent of negative 270. Okay, so draw it. negative 270 is here. Label, so draw the triangle. There's no triangle to draw. The reference angle is 0 because it's on an axis. This point is 1, 0. So tangent is sine over cosine. Therefore, cotangent is cosine over sine. Sine is y, cosine is x. Reciprocal is x over y. This would be 1 over 0, which is undefined. Okay, one more. Let's do, how about the cosine of negative 5 pi over 3. This is a 60-degree reference. Denominator is 3. It's a 60-degree reference. So if it helps you, I would convert this to degrees, which is going to be negative, oh shoot, don't mess this up. Negative 300 degrees. Negative 300. Reference angle is 60 degrees. Opposite, root 3 over 2. Adjacent, 1/2. The cosine is 1/2. Post questions on the assignment on Classroom, or send me a remind. It's easiest though, post questions on Classroom, that way everybody else can see the stream.